What up, everyone? Today on this video I'm going to be starting a new topic that I'm going to do probably several videos on, and it's going to be about the left wing on the political spectrum and how they are miserable at transmitting a message. Now, over the course of this set of videos, I will probably be taking examples and going way more in depth. But right now I just want to introduce a lot of you to why I feel this way, and it's more just a generality. Just summing up and an overview of why I feel the left is miserable at transmitting a message. First, we're going to have to look at a little bit of reality. Unfortunately, a lot of people on the left have fallen into a trap of this belief that they're right all the time, no matter what. And in some instances, they may very well actually be. In some instances, on some issues, the left may actually have the reasonable option. The option where people get treated like human beings and are not told what to do with their own bodies. I'm sure right there you know which two I'm talking about: abortion and gay marriage. I'm sorry if that offends anybody on the right, but on the left they did nail that issue. I'm sorry if that offends you, but you have the right to be offended and move on. I'm sorry. Now, the problem I find with the left is, when they can't convey messages, is what they resort to try to demonize or at least argue the person who disagrees with them. We've all heard it before, and I think this is exactly what cost the Democrats so bad in the American federal election. It's always, if you disagree with my stance on this, you're a bigot, you're racist, you're an evil person who doesn't like others, you lack empathy. Blah, 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 blah. We all know this. We've all heard it. Some of us who may agree with the left on some of these issues may have even fallen for some of this way of arguing. I know I have sometimes. And I've actually now come to regret falling for it. But this is what's hurting, is this lack of being able to convey a message. And lack of being able to properly argue with somebody when you are so sure that you are right. Calling people names, whether it actually be true or not, is not the way to go. Regardless if the person you are arguing against is actually bigoted, you are doing way more harm to your movement than good. Now, here's why. You are playing right into the hands of the other team. They want you to use these words to demonize them. That's what they want. Then they could play a victim and turn everything around on you. It's a trap. You need to learn how to argue better. Not everybody who may have been against gay marriage is actually a bigot. I still think those people who are against gay marriage are wrong. Are they all bigoted? They're not all bigoted. Some actually are. To some, the issue is irrelevant. They're not going to prevent it. They're not going to prevent gay marriage. They're not going to prevent abortions. They don't care. Their religion, they might agree with their religion and say those are bad things, again, from the religious point of view, but don't do anything to act on it. Are those people bigoted? No. Are they wrong on the issue, though? Where they still feel they're against it, but they won't do anything about it? I still think they're wrong on the issue, but they're not bigoted. Liberals need to find, in a lot of those cases, new ways to argue on stuff like that, because what happened to Hillary Clinton will continue to happen. candidates like Donald Trump with an anti-PC message will continue to rise, and they will chew up liberal opponents and spit them out, even if they're wrong. That's the problem. Liberals are not evolving in their arguments. They're just not. Which is unfortunate. Because a lot of times, progress does come from the left. Progress can't come from the right too. It does happen. Can't deny that. But oftentimes it does come from the left. Another problem where I find the left is weak on messaging is just that they often become so convinced they are right that they don't argue at all. It's this mentality of always taking the high road. Let people say what they want. They're the ones that'll look bad. We're taking the high road. Well, I'm sorry, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. You end up creating an environment where only one side of a debate is talking and the other side remains silent. How does that look to the average person? It happens to all of us. When you hear a certain thing over and over and over and over and over again to the point where you could repeat it because you've heard it ad nauseum and you don't hear the other side at all, people will come to see what's been repeated to them as the truth. That's just how we are as a species. This high road bullshit needs to stop. This calling people names in debates when they disagree with you needs to stop. And if your ideology is not able to evolve to do proper debates, it's not going to survive. It's not going to attract more people. In my home country of Canada, the Liberal Party actually dominated the federal landscape of politics throughout the 1900s. And if this trend continues with how liberals argue, it's not going to happen in this century. Now, we can debate if that is a good thing. I'm not saying it'll automatically be good or bad if they never get elected again. There are too many variables. There are too many variables to go either way on that one. But for the party itself, you got to evolve. The right has evolved. The right has no problem with getting their messaging out. The liberals and the left in general, whether it be here in Canada, the Liberal Party or the New Democratic Party and their provincial equivalents, if there are any provincial equivalents, and in the US, the Democratic Party, they got to get their messaging act together. You got to start being able to scrap with your opponents. You got to be able to start debating properly with your opponents. If you see them bashing you, just for an example, we'll use Bill 6 in Alberta, which would affect farmers. It's about farm safety. And you see one side on all the newsreels talking about Bill 6 is going to kill family farms. Bill 6 is going to kill family farms. Why isn't there somebody from the left going, oh, you're against Bill 6? Oh, so you're against farmhands having safety rights? You don't see that. They remain quiet. That's the high road not working. And then they wonder why they can't win elections afterwards. Why they get walked on in the next election. Why they get mopped the floor with. And why public opinion goes in the toilet right away. Leftists and liberals, get your heads out of your ass and start debating properly. And find new ways of getting your message out. Your political futures depend on it. And any benefits your ideology could bring to us depend on it too. Because if you don't, any of the good things you could imagine bringing us will never materialize. And to relieve some people, the bad things will never happen either. So either way, take that however you want, but it doesn't change the fact that there is a grain of truth to it. Anyway, I appreciate you listening to this rant. Thank you for watching. If you want to continue the conversation, if you disagree, agree, or have any other take on this matter, leave a comment below, explain your position, share this video, and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a good day.